Like the voice of Ral rising up from the Genesis chamber, Decrypting Krypton is back. It's a very special episode that we like to call Decanting Krypton. I'm your host, Matt Hiscox. For next week's season finale viewing party that we know you're gonna throw, we've come up with some very special themed cocktails.
And I hope you made enough for both of us.
Of course I did. It's this week's guest host, Heather Brewer. Cheers, guys. We got a chance to catch up with resident Kryptonian cocktail aficionado Sean Sipos at WonderCon for some help with naming these drinks. You named any of the drinks that you're drinking this season? Is it Vex on the Beach? Is it a fuzzy Segel?
I think Vex on the Beach is a great one. I think Vex on the Beach may stick. That's pretty good. You know, it's a stressful job being a superhero. And I think that any time that I take a drink is usually a celebratory drink. I've achieved something. But it's different than Earth alcohol, right? So I think it affects them a little differently. It's a little stronger.
Well, pour me a SAGITARI SLING because holy hell, Segel is Drew Zod's father.
I know. Mind blown.
Not my son.
Speaking of, let's check in with our featured artist, Jason Sean Alexander.
The reveal of Zod having both bloodlines in him or whatever was dope.
He said he didn't know who his father was. It was someone who was lost in the battle for Kandor.
Such a liar. He knew because he was so confident when he was like, I got this.
Just the fact that he's just standing over there bleeding into it and they're like, what are you gonna do now? And he's just like, this.
I think he definitely knew what was up and he lied about it to manipulate his mother.
But that effectively makes General Zod Superman's uncle. It's very Hamlet. To be or not to be.
I like you.
Do you always drink before battle?
Only on Krypton. Back on Earth, you can't even get a buzz going. But there are other benefits.
Drew's not even the toughest Zod around because Drew Zod challenging Jaina to the right of Joe Mon and pretty much gets his ass handed to him before Lyta shoots her mother and breaks up the fight.
So her mother gives everything up for her daughter, and then her daughter shoots her. I absolutely think that she should have shot Zod or let Drew Zod die.
This is like super operatic right now.
Now, shortly after that, we find out that Vidar Zod, Jaina's brother, is still alive.
I'm glad he's still alive. That was heartbreaking when young Jaina left him to die.
I know, I am too. I definitely want to see more of Vidar.
And Daron Vex crashes the skimmer into the Outlands where I hope he's dead because nobody likes Daron Vex.
I like Daron Vex.
It's not true.
It's not. So now whether Seg ends up with Nyssa or Lyta, the stakes are pretty high. It's kind of the penultimate relationship love triangle.
The Seg and Lyta kiss or relationship, it stood out to me because it wasn't just this relationship of two people that go through a crisis and inevitably find some level of compassion and attraction to each other. It was very Romeo and Juliet. It was two, warring factions, two houses.
I'm just gonna say, Team Nyssa.
When you find out that General Zod is in fact half El and half Zod,
I'm almost against the relationship at this point because you don't want that. We don't want General Zod to
We want like school teacher Zod. We want
Crossing Guard Zod.
Crossing Guard Zod. We don't want General Zod. We want Crossing Guard Zod.
I was actually really excited that Seg finally took more of a stand and he got the Sagittari and Black Zero to team up together to go in and fight Brainiac.
It's the first time we see Seg really being a leader. And then they all got killed. They shot each other and died. Not the best.
Speaking of heartbreaking and brain breaking and body breaking, Nyssa Vex decides to take matters into her own hands and literally shoves the key of the Fortress of Solitude directly into Rao/Brainiac's brain. She saves him and they share that moment and you're like, oh, it's cute. I thought that the first visual of Brainiac was incredible.
The design work on Brainiac was on point. It was just creepy. It was everything it needed to be, plus this strength and kind of scary posture of this guy.
He makes purple work.
Purple and green.
Yeah. It's a challenge, which leads to the dome coming down anyway.
Leaving Brainiac standing pretty triumphant over Kandor and sending Seg back out into the snow.
Seg covered in snow brings us to our last drink, the fuzzy Seg L.
It's another casualty of the Nova celebrations, if you know what I mean. I'm going to take him home. So home. I'll handle it myself. It's all good.
Be sure to check out the latest episodes of Krypton online or on demand. For Decrypting Krypton, I'm Matt Hiscox, and God, these Kryptonian drinks are really strong. How's Adam keep knocking these things back? Jeez.